I didn't start playing tennis until my freshman year in high school. And in the tennis world, that's kind of a late start. I knew of this girl who played, so I went to go watch one of her matches. After I saw her play, I knew once I got into high school, I wanted to play tennis. Today, I will be explaining to you how to properly hold a racket, how to hit a forehand, and how to serve. Before I start, knowing the background information of tennis can take you a long way. For example, the point system. In most sports, the point system goes 0, 1, 2, 3, and so on. In tennis, our points work as in love, 15, 30, 40, match point. So love would be 0, 15 would be 1, 30 would be 2, 40 would be 3, and then your game point. The server keeps up with the points at all times. So for example, if I'm playing, I was serving, I would say 15, 30 before playing the point, which means I have 1 point and my opponent has 2. If you ever forget the points, you can always walk up to the net and discuss it with your opponent. Moving on to conditioning. I have been playing tennis for almost 3 years, and I have been training with a professional trainer for almost 2. And he explains to me all the time that warming up and conditioning properly can help you go a long way in your matches. If you just walk onto a court with no conditioning or warming up, you'll most likely hurt yourself. As you can see from my knee, I have hurt myself from not conditioning properly. According to the USTA website, they explain that warming up and conditioning increases body temperature, allowing the muscles to work more efficiently. It gets the heart and lungs ready for vigorous activity, stretches the muscles actively, preparing them for forces experienced during tennis, and ingrains proper movement patterns and coordinations needed for tennis. Most athletes you'll see in general usually have a hoodie on or sweatpants and jumping around a lot, which is keeping them warm. Because keeping your body warm allows the muscles to be more loose and allow you to have better playing experience. If it's cold and your muscles are just tight in general, it can cause you to be hurt. Now, holding your racket can make or break your tennis playing experience. Freshman year, I held my racket with my hand towards the top and my finger up. I thought this way I would have more control of my racket. I was very much so wrong. My trainer said that the best way to find your grip is to lay your racket on the ground, like so, and then take your dominant hand, for me, I am left-handed, and pick it up from the bottom. Holding your racket towards the bottom gives you the best control. There are 2 main types of grips in high school tennis or in tennis in general, which is your semi-western grip, which is I use, which is your index knuckle is on the 4th bevel of the racket, which is the indent, and then your full western, which your hand is more turned in and your knuckle is on the 5th bevel, which that goes more into depth into tennis. Moving on to forehand, which is probably the first stroke you learn when playing. Most people think that just hitting it like this, like swatting at it, would be how you hit it, but hitting it like that would cause the ball to go straight into the net, or they would hit it this way, which can cause the ball to go over the fence, which causes it to go out. The best way to hit your forehand is stand sideways with your non-dominant hand out to give you more control, and your dominant hand facing out with the back of the racket facing you. From there, you want to drop your wrist down and then come under and over your shoulder, which causes the ball to have its full momentum of going over the net and making a good point. Moving on to serving, which is a key foundation into playing tennis. I know that once I started training for tennis, I could not serve a ball to save my life, and it took me months to learn my serve. Once I learned my serve, it has become one of the best skills for me in tennis. There are two types of main serves. You have your platform stance, which for me I use, which you start with your legs far apart, and when you come over, you want to jump and land on your non-dominant leg. So for me, it would be my right leg. Some professional players that use this stance would be Roger Federer and Novak Djokovic. Then your second main stance would be your pinpoint, which again, you start with your legs apart, but when you throw the ball up, you bring your legs together and you jump and you land on both of them, like this. Some professional players that use that stance would be Rafa Nadal and Andy Murray. Now I have only skimmed over the top of the basics of tennis, but either way, it is a fun sport that anyone can play. Even if you're not serious about it, you can just pick up a racket and a ball and go hit with a friend. I have hope today that I have inspired at least one of you to take an interest in tennis as I did my 8th grade year. Thank you.